Operating an environmentally sustainable ranch can often be a lifelong learning process. Through years of experience and with knowledge passed on from generation to generation, producers learn to work the land and cattle to the benefit of both. That has been the experience of the 2004 Alberta Beef Producers Environmental Stewardship Award winner. Edith Wearmouth runs the Wineglass Ranch, a fourth-generation cow-calf operation along the Jumping Pound Creek, bordering the growing urban center of Cochrane. Wineglass Ranch supports 200 cow-calf pairs on about 3,100 acres. The history of the area and climate conditions has created a natural advantage for Edith.
We're very fortunate to have a lot of rough fescue on the property, which of course has been developed over years with the grazing of the buffalo and the Chinooks that we do get here. So we have tried to keep that rough fescue land healthy and vibrant and not put it under cultivation.
The environment here also creates obstacles. As a result, Edith has adapted her practices to overcome the difficult conditions.
It has been a challenge to grow crops, so a few years ago we got rid of our line of machinery. We now share a line of machinery with another rancher. We found that that's more economically feasible and more environmentally friendly. We no longer grow our own ripe grain. We just grow green feed and hay, and we bring in pellets or ripe grain from a neighbor.
Edith says efforts to maintain the natural landscape of the region actually began a couple of generations ago.
When I look back, I think my dad and my grandpa were probably environmentalists, and they probably didn't know it. They realized the importance of, if you look after the grass or the resource today, then it'll look after you tomorrow. They realized the importance of not overgrazing, not having too many animals, so that in drought years we were still very sustainable and able to maintain our herd.
Using their insight and looking toward the future of the operation, Edith set 3 goals for Wineglass Ranch in 1997.
One goal was to be proactive. Second goal was good usage of the grass resource, and the third goal was a healthy stream system.
By getting involved with the Cows and Fish program, Edith has developed better water management strategies. The ranch has 4 drilled wells, one of which is located on a high ridge, allowing cattle to graze upland areas rather than concentrating in the creek bottoms. The wells and 2 dugouts supplement the water supply from Jumping Pound Creek, and Edith has taken steps to protect the stream bank areas by controlling cattle access.
We started out with some portable electric fencing, and now we've gone to some permanent electric fencing to make water alleys. We have also discovered that some grazing along the riparian area is a good thing, so we do allow some grazing at certain times of year. We have really noticed a comeback with the willows and the poplars and that sort of thing on the creek.
Edith is also protecting the native range through careful cattle feeding practices.
We try and feed the cattle on the land that the feed was grown. And in that way, we're not introducing any tame species onto the native grass, so we don't have any change in the native grass.
As part of her goal to be proactive in environmental stewardship efforts, Edith is involved in a number of projects and with organizations including Buck for Wildlife, Trout Unlimited Canada, and Environment Canada.
I became a member of the Ag Service Board for the MD of Rocky View. So I try and go to range science seminars, invasive weed seminars, grazing seminars, and in conjunction with the Agriculture Service Board, some of us on the Jumping Pound have just formed a Ranchers of the Jumping Pound Watershed group.
Though it does not come without its challenges, having the expanding town of Cochrane as a next-door neighbor also creates opportunities to educate the urban community and promote awareness.
We do get a lot of trespassers and a lot of requests for access to the land of various forms. What we've always adopted is if people ask, we very rarely turn them down, because we like to develop a good communication between ourselves and the urban population. I try and tell them and explain to them what I think, like the grass is my factory and it doesn't have walls around it, but it's no different than some high-rise downtown or some other factory, and I turn this grass into something that people can eat, and so I have to look after it.
Edith says the family feels honored to be recognized by the beef industry for their environmental efforts.
A lot of the practices on this ranch have always been made throughout the generations on principle and our own conscience. And I think we've always had the idea of we're just stewards of the land for the next generation, and hopefully we leave it as good or better for the next generation.
Edith Wearmouth of the Wineglass Ranch, recipient of the 2004 Alberta Beef Producers Environmental Stewardship Award.